Say we're live.
Oh, you want me? That's good. Give me time.
I got tired of waiting.
That's good.
All right. I'm just gonna go around and footage of everybody.
Well, you know what? I'm around here documenting everything, so I'm running around with the
Para mí esto es la... Para mí esto ya era necesario, ya teníamos datos que nos habíamos. I'm not worried.
So we are working America. On the other side of vamos a tomar para la gente que va llegando.
Compañero Cajamarca, un saludo.
Hola compañeros, buenas tardes. Estamos aquí en la esquina de la 7ª Street y la 3ª Avenida, listos para marchar hasta el Government Center. Y ustedes pueden ver, si puede acercarse, aquí uno de los CEO 283% de incremento el último año. Pero vemos que a los trabajadores esenciales, que no solamente son los médicos, que no solamente son las enfermeras, también son los compañeros de seguridad, también son los compañeros que limpian esos edificios, que han puesto su vida, que han puesto arriesgado su salud para estar en los edificios. Y ahora los republicanos de Minnesota dicen que a los 250 millones de dólares que luchamos juntos con muchas organizaciones sociales como CETU, como Isaía, como la SIU, el sindicato mismo de enfermeras, era para todos los trabajadores esenciales, no solamente para una parte de los trabajadores. Aquí no estamos pidiendo limosna, no estamos pidiendo favores, solo estamos pidiendo que se haga justicia y que esos 250 millones de dólares deben ser repartidos, de verdad deben ser entregados a la gente, a los trabajadores esenciales, y desde luego tiene que haber más capacitación, más seguridad, más entrenamientos en lugares de trabajo. Desde aquí saldremos hasta la tercera, aquí por la tercera avenida hacia el norte, e iremos hacia el Government Center a reclamar justicia. Esa es la idea principal.
¿Se puede repetir en inglés para la gente que no escucha en inglés?
Yes, we are here, to record just about the Republicans, for the barriers for 250 millions. Dollars, right? And the idea is for everybody, not just for the nurses or the doctors. This money, this economic resource is for the janitors and the safety and all essential workers, basically. Yeah, we are here to go to the government center and march together with Setul, another Isaiah, the SAU Local 26, and another non-profit, and the union and the community, basically. Thank you so much.
Gracias.
Okay, here.
It's yours. Sorry.
All right, we'll have speakers starting in just 1 minute. So folks want to gather around before we march. We're going to hear from a few workers and folks about what we're marching for today.
Speakers don't mind giving us your name. That would be helpful for the people.
Yeah, you're good. Essential pay.
Yep, come back here.
Oh, I did.
That's far more efficient than having them stop at the building.
Yeah. Learned one thing in the last 10 years.
You're good. Yeah, well, 2 months I'm gonna buy like a nice view camera. And I'm gonna see if I can do that hookup that I said. Computer to.
Wouldn't that be something?
I'll get it. I'll eventually get it. You'll see.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Brahim Kone. I am the Secretary of Treasury of SCIU Local 26. And I'm here with Eric.
How you doing? My name is Eric Willis. I'm the lead organizer at SA Tool. Good afternoon, everybody.
So, we are here today because the essential workers in Minnesota right is under attack. And when essential workers right is under attack, what we do? When essential workers is under attack, what we do?
Fight back!
All right. We are here today to let the corporations and the politicians know that it is past time for them to respect, protect, and pay the essential workers who have kept this state running during the pandemic. While CEOs and those in power were able to work from home, essential workers kept showing up to work. Our union of 8,000 members saw over 1,000 of our members missing work because of COVID, and that's not right. Unfortunately, 5 of our members died from COVID. Our members clean and protect some of these richest corporations in the world. And guess what kind of bonus or extra support they got coming to work every day? Nothing, absolutely nothing. And that's not right. Today, we are here. We're going to be marching to let the corporation know and politicians that essential workers are done waiting. We kept our state running during COVID. We are demanding those in power to respect, protect, and pay the essential workers who continue to keep this state running during the pandemic. We also have been part of this amazing coalition fighting to make sure essential workers get the $250 million set aside for them. But yet, we are being blocked by the Republican minority who want to exclude thousands of essential workers, and that is not right. We are going to hear from a few essential workers who have been on the front line as a worker and also fighting to get corporations and politicians to step up and do better. After the speakers, we are going to go on a short march, ending at the City Hall, where we will hear from some essential workers about exciting work. Today is a great day. Today is a day for us to let them know. This is just the beginning. Thank you for being here. I will pass it to Tommy.
Here we are, essential workers. Here we are.
Essential workers!
Here we are.
Essential workers!
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tamara, T-A-M-A-R-A, a.k.a. Tammy, A-M-I. Last name Green, G-R-E-E-N-E. I'm the director at All Ages and Faces
Child Care Center in St. Paul, Minnesota, and a leader with Kids Count on Us. Woo! A coalition of over 500 community-based child care centers across the state. Together with my other childhood educators, I've been working on the front lines of the pandemic as essential workers, as classified by United States Homeland Security. We serve as the foundation of the essential workforce, playing a vital role in keeping our state running and safe. We've been caring for the children of other essential workers so that, for example, healthcare workers could make their shifts, grocery store workers could keep their shelves stocked, couriers could deliver supplies, and grade school educators could teach our children while we taught theirs. We stepped up at a time even before there was a vaccine, and we showed up day after day. The nature of our job requires us to be on site. We don't have the option to work at home. Republican lawmakers sitting on the frontline workers' pay working group proposing to exclude a vast majority of essential workers as classified by Homeland Security. Tell us your justification. Tell us essential workers who show up day after day in jobs which require us to constantly work in close proximity with our customers, with the highest known asymptomatic carrier of the virus. Tell us your justification to exclude us from this bill. Republican lawmakers sitting on this group, tell us frontline workers, tax-paying workers, your justification to exclude us who show up every day when we pay taxes and we place our health at risk and the health of our families at risk day after day, working in a job sector with proven, documented, increased COVID-related morbidity rates. We want to know your justification. There is no justification. We find it an insult and an absolute slap in the face. When you come to finalize this bill, if we were good enough to be classified as essential workers by Homeland Security, we are to be included. All of us, all essential workers, deserve to be included in this bill. Thank you very much.
Essential workers. Essential workers. Thank you, Tommy. That was powerful. Now, Cabra Harale from SCI Local 26. Now, justice. Now.
Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Cabra Harale. I'm working in that business government center.
Woo-hoo!
For 22 years.
All right.
Maanta waxaan idiin sheegayaa dhibaatada aan soo marnay haddaan nahay shaqaalaha shaqaynayay xilligii lagu jiray COVID-19-ka.
Today, I want to share with you my experience while working as a janitor at Hennepin County and the issues that we have gone through during the pandemic.
waxaan ka mid ahay dadkii shaqaynayay xilligii uu xirnaa adduunka dhan imaanaya everyday xanuunka uu badnaa waxaan ku qaadanay riski inaan shaqayno markaas maanu haysan iban aan vaccine maanu haysanin xanuunkuna aad buu u tiro badnaa.
I came here day in and day out during the pandemic when the entire world was shut down, when there was no vaccine and the hospitals were closed. I put my family at risk.
Wuu igu dhacay aniga COVID-ga waan qaaday markuu aniga igu dhacayna familigaygiyaan u geeyey familigayga qaar baa isbitaal galay aniga waxaan joogay 3 wiig baan guriga joogay uma helin nasiib inay lacag laysiiya anigoo sidaas u shaqaynaya naftayda riski u geliyey wax benefit ah oo 3 wiig aniga laga jirto.
During this time, I also got COVID. And because of it, my family were able to get it because of me. And some of them were hospitalized. I was only given 3 weeks off work with no time off, with no pay. And
shaqaalo badan oo dhintay baa jira xanuunkaas iyaga oo shaqaynaya kuwa badan oo isbitaal galay baa ku jira sida iyagoo kaleeto waxaan u baahan nahay wixii xaqa iyaga ahaa inaan helno maanta.
I lost a lot of friends because of this. I lost a lot of family members because of this. We haven't gotten our fair share of when it comes to the essential worker pay stub. We deserve the right to be able to get this way.
I think xaq maaha baan u malaynayaa in laga aamuso annagana la inoor gareeyo oo aan dareemin culayska annagana saarnaa.
We are essential workers and we deserve to be heard.
Kii isbitaalka ka shaqaynayay kii fast foodka ka shaqaynayay kii ka shaqaynayay fast foodka iyo meelaha cuntada laga gato kulligii waxaanu ahay naftigeedu waxay ku jirtay riski inaan dhimano inaan noolaano.
Whether you're a janitor, you work in the food industry, you are an essential worker.
miyaana xaq u lahayn in nala siiyo wixii aan xaqa u lahayn?
Do we not deserve our own rights as well?
waa inaan u dagaalanaa waa inaan u kacnaa waa inaan u istaagnaa xaqa iyaga dhammaanteed naga wada maqan.
We must all stand together and fight for our own rights. Only we can do that.
in indhaha layska qabta maahan waa in shaqaaluhu uu helaa xaqiisa bikaas ma aanu nasan waanu ordaynay shaqadii baanu sarfisgaraynaynay wax walbaanu qabanaynay waa difaacaynay wixii bannaanaada oo dhan wax xaquuqana maanu helin.
We stood up every day and we worked. We showed up to work and we didn't complain. We haven't gotten anything out of it. We deserve to be treated with dignity and respect in the workplace.
dhammaantiin waxaa idin leeyahay thank you waad mahadsantihiin.
I want to thank all of you for coming out today.
Thank you, Kata. Are you fired up? Fire up! Fire up!
What do you want?
Now!
Essential. Pay
All essential workers, pay all essential.
workers.
All right. Look at behind me. Look at the raise this guy got last year. Look at how much raise the CEO of Ameriprise Financial got last year. Do you think essential workers in Minnesota don't deserve a raise? All essential workers in Minnesota deserve a raise. All right, next I need to pass on to Angie Alsett, Vice President of MIP. Right behind me.
Hi, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm actually feeling very humbled already by the speakers before me. My name is Angie Halsett. I'm a caseworker at Lino Lakes Correctional Facility. I'm also a proud member of MAPE, and I serve as the statewide vice president. As caseworkers, we help people navigate their way through their incarceration time, all the while preparing them for their transition back into the community better than before. We act as their liaison to their families, the communities, the courts, and social agencies. We assist them in reaching their goals, such as treatment completion, identification documents, reunification with family, and so much more. That list of things we do when it is not, that is a list of things we do when it is not a pandemic. During this pandemic, you can add a lot to that list. Personally, I had to do temperature checks of all the incarcerated people in the quarantine units. I had to meet with them when I knew they were COVID positive. I also assisted in the mass testing of our population during outbreaks. But like so many extra work this year, is just the start of the hardships. We've all worried that our jobs will make us or our family sick. I've had several DOC colleagues become ill from COVID-19 outbreaks at our facilities, including one who gave COVID to her pregnant wife and elderly in-laws. We have members who are currently suffering from the long-term effects of COVID-19, and I don't know if they'll ever recover. We're proud to be frontline workers. We told our stories to the task force, and we'll keep telling them, and we'll keep standing together. We are a state that is lucky to have more resources available, and I'm asking the state to spend those resources helping our frontline workers try to be whole again. Thank you.
Thank you. Just last week, I received a call from one of our members' wife, and she asked if the union can help with funeral costs. Her husband, one of our members, died of COVID. No insurance, no money. The good thing is the union set aside $5,000 for each of our members who died from COVID. And that's sad. We asked the companies to help during the pandemic. No money, they said. Look behind me. So next, I will pass to Mary Turner, President of Minnesota Nurses Association.
Good evening. My name is Mary Turner, MaryTurner. I am the president of Minnesota Nurses Association, but I always say more importantly, I'm a COVID ICU nurse at Northmore Medical Center in Robbinsdale, Minnesota. Been on the front line from the very beginning. And the first thing I want to make very, very clear to all of you is I usually stress that, but today I am stressing that I am a union president of the nurses. And from the very beginning, I have stood with all these other essential workers. And the reason is because what one gets, we all get. Okay, we've got the Republican Party that wants to split us off and just give extra bonus, etc., to just the healthcare workers in the hospitals and the nursing homes. That's not going to fly. It never has. It never will. And the reason is because I have been at the bedside along with our other nurses while people from security and cleaning and teaching and the food industry and every other industry that is represented here, we have been at their deathbeds. We have seen the numbers of essential workers that have died. And their sacrifice and the sacrifice that we do every day, being on the front line, helping the world to get through this pandemic here in Minnesota, we deserve to be recognized. We deserve to get compensation in the sense of at least some bonus, at least our government. Quit playing politics. Did any of us, I ask you all out there, did we play politics? Did we say, did we sit and play games before we decided to go out the door to teach our children or to take care of fill the shelves or to clean our buildings or to secure our buildings? Did we play politics? No. Then our legislator needs to quit playing politics and get the job done. Like I said, once again, the nurses stand with all of you. You will not separate us. We are union. We stick together. End of subject. Thank you.
I can handle it. I got it, thank you.
Essential workers. Essential workers. Essential workers. Essential workers. Essential pay. Hold that for.
Live. Elena!
Now we stand in front of the Star Tribune. We know the Star Tribune editorial board hasn't always been the most friendly to work with. But even they know we need action. Last week, they published an editorial on essential worker pay and agreed with us that we need to make sure all workers are covered and that the game needs to stop. Essential workers. Essential workers. So we ask if you have a Twitter account, we want to help spread the word. Go to Say Tools Twitter and right now and retweet us highlighting that even big outlets like the Star Tribune are sick and tired of the delays of the payment to essential workers. Essential pay. Essential pay. All right, thank you. Let's keep marching.
Yeah, good girl.
Now we stand outside U.S. Bank, one of the largest corporations in the nation. It is also one of the big corporations who saw their wealth skyrocket during COVID, but has consistently been part of organizations like the Chamber of Commerce, who have worked to block paid sick days, minimum wage increases, and other issues that would have helped essential workers during COVID. We know that's not right. Now it's time for us to let them know that their greedy actions are hurting workers, and join me in the chant. U.S. Bank, you can't hide, we can see your greedy side. U.S. Bank, you can't hide, we can see your greedy side. U.S. Bank, you can't hide, we can see your greedy side. U.S. Bank, you can't hide, we can see your greedy side. U.S. Bank, we can see your greedy side. You can't hide, we can see your greedy side. We can see your greedy side. You can't hide. We can see your greedy side. Thank you. I'm hoping that they heard you somewhere out there in their corporate offices, all us working in solidarity. Now we're going to cross the street in front of City Hall, and we're going to have our last couple speakers.
Essential prayer for essential workers. Essential prayer for essential workers. Essential prayer. Essential prayer. Essential prayer. Okay. What do you want? Justice. What do you want?
No!
What do you want? 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 Social pay for essential workers. Essential pay. Essential pay. Essential pay. Essential pay.
Now we stand in front of City Hall at a pivotal point. Now we stand in front of City Hall at a pivotal point. Today is the meeting for the Minneapolis City budget hearing. The Twin Cities needs to fund initiatives that address the root causes of poverty and violence, ensuring that no one's health is an afterthought.
Right.
Money should be invested in our community.
Yes.
We need essential pay for essential work.
Yes.
And now more than ever, we must fully fund workers' protection to ensure that workers are working in safe, stable, and healthy environments that can defend their basic rights without fear of retaliation.
Yes.
So first off, we have two speakers here. First up will be Henry from the downtown organization, todos.
Essential pay for essential workers. Essential pay.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Henry Scott, and I'm a member of Centro and part of the Downtown Workers Council in Minneapolis. Today we are marching to demand justice for essential workers so that the state of Minneapolis pay us for our sacrifices and for Minneapolis and St. Paul to fully fund workers' protection so all workers know our rights. I'd like to start with the fact the CEO of Ameriprise got a 283% raise last year. Now I want to know what he did to get that. Was he the one stacking our shelves? Did he take care of our children? Did he clean the floors? No. Did he risk his health during the pandemic just to pay his bills? No. Well, what did he do for the people who did do that stuff?
Not what I did.
The workers are really the ones who keep our economy running. We are essential. Meanwhile, many workers didn't get 2 weeks paid to quarantine or receive substantial hazard pay for their risk and sacrifice. That ain't right. There are working people who don't even know they have sick time in the Twin Cities. The majority of workers never receive any training about their sick and safe time. I've been talking to people about this for years, and most people don't even know it exists. Period. We need training at our jobs. The city of Minneapolis needs to fund ongoing workers' protections so that all workers are educated about their rights and can access them. I've lived without sick time as a sick worker, and I know that life is much better with paid sick time.
That's right.
I think people like me who know firsthand should be doing these trainings. It will help with safety at work. This is on our politicians and corporations. Business must follow the laws. Some business are putting the broader community in danger by refusing to abide by workplace standards. There need to be repercussions if they don't start taking care of your people. The city has to step up, and the state of Minneapolis too. There are millions of dollars of COVID release. That is our money. We don't want to wait. We are the people who keep them companies running, who keep these companies running. We can't afford to wait any longer. Thank you.
Essential card! Essential workers! Essential card! Essential workers! Essential card! Essential workers!
All right.
What do you want? What do you want?
Can we give a hand to Henry? He's working real hard. A lot of outreach for the downtown team. Could you do me a favor? If you have a phone, could you pull it out? If you live or work in the Twin Cities, would you submit a comment to the city council? Let us use our voices to show how our money should be spent in the budget next year. Go to savetool.net and scroll down to our call to action and submit a comment to the council. Click read more and select Minneapolis or St. Paul, depending on where you live, and take a few minutes to submit your comment. Let city council hear your opinion to determine where your money, your tax dollars should be spent. So next up, we'll have Sean from MFT, Minneapolis Teachers Union.
Good afternoon, essential workers and allies. My name is Sean Layden. I'm the president of our Education Support Professionals chapter of the Minneapolis Federation of Teachers. And I stand here and represent 1,200 essential workers who work in the Minneapolis public schools. And at the beginning of the pandemic, when essential workers were called to go to work, many of our members worked during the pandemic during essential childcare. And they were able to provide some essential childcare so that frontline workers across the city were able to go to work and keep our hospitals open, keep our shelves stocked, and make sure that first responders were there for emergency. We're here today because the Republicans in the legislature have fallen into an old trap. Essential workers in Minnesota are people of color, are women, are immigrants, are members in MFT, ESP, a majority of people of color, vast majority women, are being used as political pawns to divide and conquer. We're being told some are worthy and some are not. That's not right. And we're all here today to stand in solidarity and say, we won't allow those traps. We won't allow that same old tired script to work. We are here to be loud and clear and to say we are standing together until essential workers, all of us, get what we need and get what we deserve. So on behalf of the 5,000 educators, Greta Callahan, our teacher chapter president, related service professionals, we want to say solidarity to everybody. Appreciate being here with you. Thank you.
Essential workers!
Essential workers!
For
essential workers!
We give another round of applause to Sean. We risk our lives every day at work. City Council needs to fund our protection. SA2, we're calling for more city investigators and more funding for our labor standards and outreach and education. So we'd like to thank y'all for coming out, but last but not least, we have a speaker from Unidos, Minnesota, Fernanda.
essential pay! Essential workers! Essential pay!
Hi everyone, my name is Fernanda, that's F-E-R-N-A-N-D-A, and I'm here as an associate organizer with Unidos Minnesota. Woo! Woo! I am also an immigrant, and a food service worker since 2018. And today I want to share with you some of my experiences throughout the pandemic and also the experiences of some of my coworkers. From the moment the first reports of a novel coronavirus broke in the U.S. back in November 2019, my coworkers and I knew it was probably a good idea to take some precautions at work, namely washing our hands more often and wearing gloves when doesn't cables. The logic there is that, you people are putting stuff in their mouths and you're never really sure exactly what is going to end up on these napkins, right? Things seem pretty normal for a few months, and then we shut down in March 2020. Of course, that's when reality hit for a lot of people, especially for those who are undocumented and or disabled and face systemic oppressions that, among many things, made them ineligible to receive sufficient government aid despite being taxpayers like the rest of us. After 5 or so weeks of not working, we went back into the kitchen, and many were thankful to finally have a flow of income once again. That relief, however, was only temporary, because we realized that commercial kitchens, generally speaking, aren't built for social distancing. Not to mention the fact that customers got to sit in the dining room unmasked, while we as workers had to just mask up and hope for the best. Being so exposed to unmasked individuals, it truly baffles me that there was and continues to be a debate over whether restaurant workers deserve essential worker pay or status. You might think to yourself, why not just do takeout? And the reality is that, or at least in my experience, the answer is it compromises our profit margins and our ability to keep the business open. Yeah, I think we all know what happened after that. If you've ever worked food service, you know that many coworkers juggle multiple jobs, work 40 plus hours a week, and are undocumented. The kitchen for many of us is not just our place of work. It's where we build community, where we find understanding, and where we become a second family. We often hear about the physical and emotional drain on physicians and emergency responders through the pandemic. And today, I invite you to hold the same space for all of the food service workers and other essential workers who have experienced losses caused by the corporate and government responses to COVID-19. These were actions that continuously made it clear they're here to protect profits over people. I ask you to join our fight, not just for essential pay, but also for accountability for the lack of leadership that has negatively affected us throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. All right, now we got to do it in Spanish, so bear with me. Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Fernanda, soy una organizadora con Unidos Minnesota, una migrante, y he trabajado en una cocina desde el 2018. Y el día de hoy les voy a platicar un poco sobre mis experiencias y las experiencias de mis compañeros de trabajo durante la pandemia. Desde el momento en que aparecieron los primeros reportes de un nuevo coronavirus en los Estados Unidos en noviembre de 2019, mis compañeros y yo supimos que probablemente era una buena idea tomar algunas precauciones en el trabajo, como lavarnos las manos con más frecuencia y usar guantes al limpiar mesas. La lógica ahí es que a la gente se lleva los cubiertos a la boca y uno no sabe exactamente qué es lo que acaba en las servilletas usadas. Fuera de eso, nuestras operaciones siguieron relativamente normales por unos meses, hasta el cierre temporal en marzo de 2020. Por supuesto, ahí es cuando la realidad le pegó a mucha gente, sobre todo aquellos que son indocumentados y o discapacitados, y se enfrentan a opresiones sistémicas que, entre muchas cosas, los hacen inelegibles para recibir suficiente ayuda gubernamental, a pesar de ser trabajadores que pagan impuestos como el resto de nosotros. Después de aproximadamente 5 semanas sin trabajar, regresamos a la cocina. Muchos estaban agradecidos de volver a tener un flujo de ingresos más o menos estable, pero ese alivio fue solo temporal, porque muy rápidamente nos dimos cuenta de que las cocinas comerciales en general no están diseñadas para tomar precauciones como la bien conocida sana distancia. Otra realidad a tomar en cuenta es que los clientes se sentaban en el comedor sin cubrebocas, mientras que nosotros como trabajadores solo podíamos ponernos nuestro cubrebocas y esperar lo mejor. Al estar tan expuestos a personas sin cubrebocas, realmente me confunde y me frustra que desde el principio exista un debate sobre si los trabajadores de restaurantes merecen los pagos o estatus de trabajadores esenciales. Puede que estén pensando, ¿y por qué no simplemente hacer la comida para llevar? Y bueno, la realidad de mi experiencia es que la respuesta es que no se puede, porque eso compromete nuestros índices de beneficio y nuestra capacidad para mantener el negocio abierto. Creo que todos estamos familiarizados con lo que sucedió a partir de marzo de 2020. Si alguna vez han trabajado en el servicio de alimentos, de limpieza, ustedes saben que muchos compañeros de trabajo tienen varios trabajos, tienen varios empleos, trabajan más de 40 horas a la semana y muchas veces son indocumentados. La cocina para muchos no es solo nuestro lugar de trabajo, es donde construimos comunidad, donde encontramos entendimiento y apoyo, y donde nos convertimos en una segunda familia. Hemos escuchado mucho sobre el desgaste físico y emocional de los médicos y trabajadores de servicios de emergencia a través de la pandemia. Pero hoy quiero invitarlos a tener esa misma simpatía por todos los trabajadores de restaurantes y otros trabajadores esenciales que han sufrido pérdidas causadas por las respuestas corporativas y gubernamentales al COVID-19. Estas fueron acciones que dejaron en claro una y otra vez que están aquí para proteger más las ganancias que a las personas. Les pido que se unan a nuestra lucha por pague esencial y también a la lucha contra la impunidad. La falta de liderazgo nos ha afectado negativamente durante la pandemia del COVID-19 y los responsables deben tener consecuencias adecuadas por sus acciones. Gracias.
Let's all give a big hand to Fernanda. So I love the energy. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out, like all of our essential workers, local politicians. We're actually trying to keep the energy up, let our voices be heard, and we're all going to like march back to Ameriprise where we started. And let's follow our veteran representatives and just let everyone know that essential workers deserve what? All right, thank you.
Gonna be more?
No more speakers.
Oh, okay.
It's your fault.
Yeah.